Dog's gone wild. My dog Tokyo's like, you guys need to buy Dogecoin right now. You need to buy Shiba Inu. It's the best coin in the world. Hi, everybody. My name is Tokyo, and welcome to my new YouTube channel. Today, we're going to discuss Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. Hey, that's not what we're going to talk about. Is that what we're going to talk about, Tokyo? Alrighty. So if you guys don't know, this is Tokyo. Say hi to everybody. We got to go. Be a good girl, okay? I'll come see you soon. Yo, what's up, everybody? Okay, let's get this live stream started. I'll give it like a minute or two. I'm going to give you guys a public live stream every single day from now on because I want everybody to be informed. I think everyone deserves that. After 9 years of experience, I definitely have a lot to contribute to you, so make sure you follow me. So for those that don't know me, my name is Phil. I've been in the game for 9 years now. My 9-year anniversary was just a few weeks ago, actually. That's crazy that I used to be a mechanical engineer. And 9 years later, got into the game, found success after like 2 years of day trading. It took a long time to eventually be successful in day trading. So for those that are trading and newer to the market, you've got to give yourself some time. Doesn't matter how smart you are, how emotionally stable you are, how disciplined you are. All new things will take time to get good at. So if you're feeling a little behind in terms of, I should be at this level already, I should be making this much already, don't be discouraged. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Go at your level. As long as you're understanding the process of learning to become a better trader or a better investor, to focus on your weak points and to always be learning. Google things, go to YouTube, watch lots of videos, read about terminology, learn about strategies, go to Reddit a lot and read about different coins and projects, hang out on Twitter and see updates, and you will eventually get to where you want to be. So today we're going to talk about, let's do a quick analysis on Bitcoin first of all, okay? And by the way, guys, if you do not know, my Discord's price, it actually got lowered. It's now, instead of $50 a month, it's now $35. I want it to be accessible to everybody. You can find it in the Discord link below, or sorry, in the link below in this video. Or if you're on my Twitter, just click on bio site and it will bring you to a link over here where you can go sign up for it. It's a little bit slow to load. I don't know why. Anyways, click there. It'll load. I think it's actually my computer that's very slow to load. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin market. Whenever you guys are looking at the Bitcoin market, always look at the history index, okay? The history index is going to be a compilation of all of the historical data on Bitcoin. And I find that that's by far the best coin to do an analysis on. So here's the site, by the way. You guys can join me here. So in my Discord group, you get a crap ton of things, okay? You get a live stream almost every single day. I give you guys constant updates about the top coins to day trade. You will get help. There's a questions and answers channel. There's a library of like thousands of different lessons where you can go through short lessons, long lessons, you name it, day traders, beginner's guide, trading challenges, a questions channel just so you can ask questions and get answers almost immediately. There's a premium chat group here as well where we're always working together as a group. There's a trading floor where I'm always listing my ideas and sharing what I think are really good coins to trade, etc. Okay, so join the Discord group. It's $35 a month, 3 months with me. You will be like, holy crap, I didn't know that these things existed. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin's halving period. But before we talk about that, we got to understand the ROI. I know that I've gone through it several times before when it comes to ROI, but it's important to understand it on a really deep level, okay? So just as an example, we'll take a look at two different metrics. We'll look at year-to-date ROI, and then we'll look at the ROI after the halving period. So in this chart over here, whichever one loads up first, okay. So let's take a look at the halving years. So the halving years were 2016 and 2020 so far, right? We'll leave out 2012. What you're going to notice is that during the halving, okay, this is where roughly the halving period is, right around here, okay, between April and June, or May and July actually, between 2016 and 2020. After the halving period, there's always a slow period of accumulation, which eventually leads up into a major run. So every year there's a halving. We end up finishing off the year strong with, in 2016, a 2.21 ROI, and in 2020, a 4.01 ROI. Now, that's very significant because we've never once, even in 2012, okay, we've never once had a year where we finished even close to below the halving. In 2012, it was 2.61. But more importantly, it's the year after the halving that's extremely important, okay? The year after the halving always is a bull market year because the halving period, it acts as a major anchor point to the bull market. So this is 2013's bull market, finishing with an ROI at the peak at 82 ROI. And then in 2017, it finished off with a peak of 19.46. And then in 2021, we finished off with a peak of 2.3. So not as high for Bitcoin, but keep in mind that this period here, this accumulation period between May, June, July, if you bought basically any newer coin that was released in 2021, it just went to the moon. So these periods right here are very, very important to buy because there's a lot of fear in the market as well, and the historical risk data is extremely low. So whenever you see the risk levels low and lots of fear in the market, those are the best times to buy in the market. And this year, it's going to be very similar. Many 2024 coins will be released in the market, and I'm sure that in 2025 early, many coins will emerge as well. It's during those newer coins where you want to invest during the bull market. Bitcoin will eventually be sold off, and much of that capital, much of that profit that people made, they're going to take it out of Bitcoin. They will put it into the altcoin market, and that's where we're going to have a major altcoin season. In fact, we're probably close to beginning an altcoin season already from the way that the Bitcoin dominance is trending very high, and eventually I do expect a sell-off. So then if you take a look at the next chart over here, this is the halving period. Okay, I always refer to it because it's extremely important. After the halving occurs, we always end up getting a major all-time high. But the thing about, I apologize, the thing about the all-time high that it makes is that every single year, there's diminishing returns. Because, for example, if the market cap is only $50 billion, it's a lot easier to double to $100 billion. But if the market cap is like $500 billion, it's a lot harder, right? Or sorry, it's a lot easier to double from like 50 billion to 100. But when you go to like a higher market cap, like 500 billion, it's much more difficult to double to say $1 trillion and so on. So if it's a very low market cap, very easy to double. The higher it gets, the more difficult. So because of that, because of the difficulty of bringing in a huge amount of capital into an already established market, you will have something called diminishing returns, where every time Bitcoin gets to a higher price and a higher market cap, the returns on Bitcoin, they get significantly lower. So with the halving cycle in 2012 that led up to the bull market in 2013, we had an ROI of 85, which was unreal. So if you got in 2012, 2013, you would have made a lot more money than you would have made now, for example. And then in 2016, the ROI was also really high, but not as high as 85. In 2016, it was actually only 30. Okay, so it reduced by a factor of about 2.5 times, right? 2.5 times from 85 to 30. Okay, so then actually a little bit, maybe like about 2.3 times or so. And then it reduced again from 30% or 30 ROI to 7.86. So that's significantly lower, right? Much, much lower by almost a factor of about 4. Okay, so you're seeing that every time it gets smaller and smaller, right? So would it make sense that even if the ROI for the next halving cycle, because we're going from like 85 to about 30 to about even 7, right? Would it make sense if we even halved it, for example, okay? Or even got a factor of like maybe if it was only a factor of 2 or 3 maximum, That seems to be very realistic in my opinion. So every time the halving occurs, we have a major bull market cycle with a huge ROI that leads up to the bull market roughly anywhere between 500 here is the first one was 525 days, the second one was 545 days. So if we had a bull market that began after the halving period, this would likely land us to roughly September to maybe October of 2025 because the historical data has showed us all of this before and there's no reason to doubt it once again. The market has been cycling every 4 years and it will continue to do so until there's evident change that the cycle has been broken. But unfortunately, or fortunately rather for us, the halving period will come every 4 years or so. So it seems very likely that it will stay true to how the bull market will run from April this year to most likely the end of September to maybe October, November. But one advice I can give you is this. Make sure that you're understanding the timeline of how long these bull market cycles last. A lot of my friends, they said to me in the first cycle in 2017 that they're just going to keep holding it forever. And that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make because in my opinion, it's important to invest only in a cycle every 4 years and basically get all out. Unless you're Michael Saylor and you're still going to buy at the top and you're managing a multi-billion-dollar portfolio, that's different. But for the average retail investor like you and I, it's important to cash out everything based on a time analysis as well. So if we get an ROI, for example, of roughly even 3, and Bitcoin were to hit the all-time high around $69,000 near the Bitcoin halving period or shortly after, by a factor of 3 ROI, 70,000 times 3, that's an easy $210,000. And this is actually a very conservative approach because we also have to factor in that the spot ETF for Bitcoin and BlackRock is playing a huge pivotal moment for Bitcoin's history. And now that there's going to be a huge amount of institutional investments from BlackRock that will inflood into crypto, we can just guess how much money, if you've seen how much money is being injected right now into the crypto market, BlackRock is buying everything. And when you think of the Ethereum ETF getting approved as well, on roughly May 23rd, that's the deadline, these two markets are eventually going to skyrocket. When you also consider regulation that will happen worldwide, despite it taking a hit and taking a setback sometimes, these regulations are necessary to grow the crypto industry. So right now is the time of stage 2 frenzy. There's multiple stages in the crypto market. And just as an example, one of the stages would be at the beginning or when Bitcoin is near a very low price point and everyone is scared, everyone is selling, everyone is fearful, everyone thinks that crypto is going to die. The mainstream media starts to say, oh no, this is a really bad time, everybody sell your crypto. Well, those are the times that you should actually be buying because when there's blood in the streets, that's the best time to capitalize. And if you got in November 2022, 2023 early, you would have known that it was the best time to buy in hindsight. And then the next stage is roughly around now. Okay, we haven't broken an all-time high yet. We haven't reached the, we have not reached, I'm just going to look for a good chart here for you, okay? Let's see if I can find it. We haven't even reached close to the all-time high index quite yet. Let me just see if I can get this. I don't have it here. I was looking for the stock to flow model. They changed the link. It's not loading. Okay, so right now there's definitely a stage 2 period where, here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna briefly explain this chart to you. This is a stock to flow model, which shows how many days left until the halving. Okay, so when it gets to, excuse me, when it gets to the halving period, it starts to get to like a dark purple, okay? Like a dark purple to this color on the bottom over here. Let me just show you it. You guys see that? And then when the halving period just finished, okay, we start back up at the top into a red color, and then eventually leading up to the halving, it goes back down to this color, okay? And in the middle somewhere, that is where the bull market is. So right here, the red, you can think of that as super hot, like a hot time to buy. And then it leads up to green. That's even better, right? It leads up to the green bull market. Then eventually it starts to cool off. Okay, it starts to cool off to a bluish color, right? And then it gets to a dark color again. So if you take a look at the cycles so far, okay, this is where the Bitcoin, see these vertical lines? That is where every single time we've seen the Bitcoin halving period. Okay, so after the Bitcoin halving period, the purple color finishes and then it leads. And look at how it leads. Okay, look at how the colors change from the dark red to orange to yellow, then to the frenzy phase of green. Every single market, we've seen the exact same type. And right now, it's actually not that much different either, where we're seeing it purple right now, and it's going to change eventually to red, which will lead up to the yellow and the orange, and then the green to the all-time high. So this is a very good visual representation of everything that we have seen so far in 12 years. So if I can give you the best advice is that time is almost running out. You will not have that much time left to get into a good position, because right now we are in the frenzy phase, or sorry, the stage 2 phase, the phase where we have not broken any major all-time highs for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, for any of these major alts from the 2021 season. We're still trying to break that 61K, and not that much money is being injected yet. So everyone's still kind of trying to buy crypto and dollar cost averaging right now on strength. But it is the stage 3 frenzy. That's where everybody starts to come in, okay? That stage 3 is the price discovery phase. After 69K, everyone's going to be wild. Like, we don't know where it's going to stop. We don't know where it's going to end or how high it's going to go. For Ethereum as well, for a lot of altcoins as well, like ARKM, Optimism, Arbitrum. We don't know where these guys will go. Superverse. There's so many different coins out there that have not even began their price discovery phase yet. And once that phase 3 occurs, we're really going to know how the market looks. But it's also the phase 4 that you got to be really aware of. And this stage 4 is where everybody starts talking about it on the mainstream media. Everyone's buying Lamborghinis, they're buying Rolexes, they're buying houses, they're cashing out. You see it everywhere on social media. You see your taxi driver talking about it. You hear your Uber driver, your cashier, the retail mall associate, right? Everybody's talking about your doctor, your dentist, your chiropractor, everyone, right? And that's where you got to be really aware that these people are going to come in. Unfortunately, a lot of people end up buying like in the last 80% of the market, because that's when they're brought to the attention of crypto. And that's where you have to be smart. You have to be wise about this and understand that it's time to get out. And during those times, that's where this stock to flow model, it starts to kind of go from the greenish color to and it starts to fade, right? And then the green is so high that if you look at some charts, for example, like the fear and the greed index, okay, for all the time we've seen an all-time high, we see that the greed is literally like at 91, near all-time highs. Okay, so that's important to understand, that when the greed is too high for the fear and greed index, you need to get out of the market as well. So right now we're getting up there. We're getting up till about 80, but that's a good point. 80 is good because that's where it starts to really rally, and it could lead up to major all-time highs. So those are just some other important points to remember. So I just wanted to I will leave it at here, because I'm going to keep these updates every single day for you for about 10 minutes at a time, and I don't want to have too much information. I will tell you exactly what you need to know and try to guide you through this crypto bull market, because I don't want to see a lot of you guys fail. I want to see you do well, and more importantly, I want to see you protect your capital and grow it as well so you can preserve it. So thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoy my content and the news that I provide, make sure you guys just give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll be sure to give you more updates in the future. And if you don't subscribe for me, just subscribe for my dog Tokyo. She wants to buy a lot of Dogecoin this year. So have a great day, everybody, and thank you very much for joining me. Bye now. Have a good